Welcome to We Wine Whenever. Grab your glass and join three Jersey Shore housewives, Wendy, Kelli, and Lori, as they dive into everything from Bravo drama to life's everyday chaos. It's unfiltered, it's hilarious, and it's the real talk you've been waiting for, from relationship to pop culture. We drink wine whenever, and we hope you do too. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a 5-star review. Cheers! Hi, welcome to We Wine Whenever. I'm Wendy.
Kelli.
We are talking about Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 16, Episode number 13. This one is called Chapter 1 Reset.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like the name at first, but then when we get into the episode, I know why it was Chapter 1 Reset.
Right. They kind of explain it, yeah.
Yeah, so we start out with Shamia and her daughter. They're getting stuff together for their trip to Grenada because they're going to be donating because of the hurricane.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kelli shows up with an SUV full of water. Cynthia sent her donations. She went and picked out her donations at Target. It looked like Target bags.
Mm-hmm.
And she picked out exactly what she wanted to get. Drew sent her donations with I guess, assistant.
Mm-hmm.
And then Britt shows up with a small box. And Shamia's like, well, where's the rest of your stuff? She's like, oh, it's going to be coming later. I just couldn't get it. I couldn't get it at, couldn't get in the car. She's like, are you going to bring your car up here? She's like, no, someone's going to bring it later. She's like, well, they're picking it up in an hour.
Yeah. Britt's lying.
Yep.
Listen, not everybody can do what everybody else can do, but just own up to it. Like, this is what I got.
Not for nothing, but let's be real. An SUV full of water doesn't cost that much money.
No, you're absolutely right.
An SUV full of water does not cost that much money. And I think it's going to come out. Does she drive a Rolls Royce?
I think that whole scene was a bunch of bullshit when she was looking at that car.
Yeah. But anyway, we're talking about not a lot of money, right?
Yeah. $100. You could get how many? You could get 70 cases of... No.
I mean,
Kelli.
it's $4 a case at Costco. It's not
right.
even $4.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
You could get 25 cases.
Right.
Of water.
Right.
That'd be huge.
Yes.
To send.
Right. Or spend $200.
Yeah. But yeah.
50 cases of water. I mean, looks like a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
Instead of what did she have in her, two things of toilet paper?
Yeah, I know. Say. Britt, come on, man. You have to like show. You got on the show somehow.
Right.
Somehow you got on this show. We don't know how.
Right.
But you're here, man.
Yeah, you got to show up.
You got to fake it till you make it.
That's it. So then she's talking about the bare and naked party and how she wasn't happy with the party planner, but you said she was not a party planner. She was a decorator.
But now there is a party planner that came out and said she owes her money.
Was it for that event?
I think so. There's a lot going on here. A lot to unpack. I think she had a party planner and a party decorator, but that kind of doesn't make sense because if you hire a party planner, isn't she going to do the decorating? I don't know. I'm seeing mixed things on social media. So if somebody wants to correct me, feel free.
Yeah, let us know what's going on there.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's talking about to Shamia, like, how are things between her and Drew? And Shamia said that, she really didn't address the Drew thing, but she did say that her and Porsha talked and everything between them is fine, which, we're good. I'm glad to hear that, right?
Yeah.
And then we see Porsha and Drew are at the restaurant together.
I loved how Drew's like, oh, I'm easy about the tea. But every time they tried to bring her a cup, she was like, oh, no. It's just tea.
It's just tea, but she needs it for her voice. She needs it for her voice.
That's right. Yeah, for her voice. Yeah.
I like how Porsha is like throwing shade at her hair as soon as she walks up. That's not go naked hair. And they're like, yeah, it is. The producer's like, yeah, it is. She's like, well, she had to mix it with something then because that's not my hair. I'm just like, it's just always something.
Yeah.
It's always something.
Yeah.
So they're trying to have the conversation about Dennis and, she's now signed the deal and he's going to be working on her record. And, Portia's saying, like, if I knew you were dating Black, I guess that's the guy's name is Black, or that's his
I
his
guess that's
code
what he
name.
goes by. Yeah,
That's his
that's what
code
he goes
name.
by.
All right. So she said, "You mean my friend?" Drew said, "You mean my friend?" And she's like, "Well, she's not dating him. She doesn't have a boyfriend. She's not doing that yet. Her divorce is not over. She's trying to make this crystal clear." And
Yep.
we've heard this a couple times in this episode.
Clearly, she doesn't want to talk about it.
Black is not someone she's dating. There's nothing romantic. There's no friends with benefits. There's nothing going on with Black but friends. That's it.
Right.
Porsche is, trying to get that in there, but Drew's like, but wait, you're complaining about me, but then you go out to dinner with Ralph, and you know that we are not getting along, and this divorce is not over, and it is messy. And Portia's like, well, I didn't know he was going to be there. Shami invited me, and he was there.
I really think that's a load of bullshit.
We all know that's a load of bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the story they gave us to begin with. We knew that was bullshit the first time they told us. And the second time, we still know it's bullshit.
Right.
You can't trick us. Sorry. We've been here
That's
before. Right?
Yeah. But Drew said, and they blanked out his name. Drew said something about Porsha dating somebody, right? Did you hear that?
You know what? It's weird because when I was watching this episode, I kept hearing like blanked out stuff. And
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was just my episode was glitchy.
No, in that particular scene, I think Drew went back at her and was like, well, you've been out to dinner with so-and-so, and they blanked it out.
Okay, maybe. Yeah, I missed
Porsha
that.
was like, I don't even know so-and-so, and they blanked it out again.
Okay.
So, I don't know why these women move this way. If you're dating, I mean, I understand. Well, you know what, Porsha too.
Portia's
They're both going through divorces, so they
Right.
can't. I get
Right.
it. Okay,
Yeah,
I
and
get it.
Porsha, but the whole point is Porsha knows. So why is she doing that to Drew?
Exactly. If you're doing the same thing, why? Don't be stupid.
Right.
You know she's going to bring it up.
Right. So that, they really don't come to a place of peace, and Porsha just gets up and walks out, and she says she's going to drink her tea at home.
I do feel like Drew does not let Porsha talk. I think Porsha talks a lot, but even in this lunch and even at the end at that table in Grenada, she wouldn't let her talk. It's like, shut up for a minute.
You know what I do respect about Drew is that every time she's having these conversations, she is very calm.
I give her that.
And very composed.
Yes.
I don't really see her pop off. I don't.
She doesn't get overly emotional.
Right.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
I mean,
she keeps it together.
It may be the actress in her. I mean, she is an actress.
Yeah.
Although what Phaedra said, what did she say? She was shading her acting career later on.
What was the
episode.
movie they said she was in?
I don't
think it was
remember.
the dance movie with Channing Tatum. I thought. I could be wrong though. When
I don't
he was
know.
young.
Whatever it was, Phaedra was shading it.
So funny. Yeah.
Then we see Kelli's talking to her daughters, and she's telling them, she's getting ready and she's packing for Grenada, and she's going to miss their first day of school.
Yeah.
She says, but her friend, and we find out it's also her publicist, Uncle Lamont, is going to be able to take them to school. And then she breaks it to him, then he's going to be taking them. And he's like, all right, yeah, no problem. I'll get it done. And she's like, okay, but you have to drop off at 3 different schools. And he's like, and what time do we start? And she's like, 7 a.m. And he's like, all right, when you getting back? It's a lot. That's
You know what I thought was interesting though? The youngest go the earliest and the oldest goes the latest. Did you catch that?
I did not. That is interesting.
Is her oldest Chance or is the middle one Chance? All I know is the
her
twins
oldest
were
is
first.
Chloe is the oldest.
Okay. So the youngest go first, then the oldest goes in the middle, and then the middle child goes last. But here it's so annoying because the little ones go later and the older ones who want to sleep have to be out the door at, 6:15.
Yeah. Yes, this is very true.
Yeah, we're living it, people. We're living it.
We are living it.
2 more weeks, baby.
Yes, that's it. Not for much longer. It's almost over. It's almost over. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did think it was very interesting. Lamont tells Kelli that he called Mark.
Yeah.
I don't even know that we knew his name prior to that, to be quite honest with you.
I think we did because remember she said to Kenya, I have a Mark too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But so right. Lamont must have had some kind of friendship with this guy as well.
Well, that's what he said. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
to see where he was at with the kids. And, Kelli wasn't upset about it. She wasn't. I didn't think she was. Did you?
I think she was upset with the fact that he doesn't want to be a father right now.
Right. But I'm saying she
wasn't upset with
with
Lamont for talking to him. No.
Right. She wasn't upset with Lamont for talking to him.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. She's upset that he is not doing his part, and not upset for herself, but upset for her girls.
Right. Yeah. I mean, how do you I'll never understand that, how somebody just walks away from their kid. I can't
No.
wrap my head around that. If you
I
don't
can't
get
either.
along with, your ex, that's one thing, but these kids are innocent victims in all this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
How do you not see your kid? I would die.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Kelli starts crying when she's, talking about it. And I
Yeah.
don't blame her because it's very emotional for the girls.
Yeah.
Next, we see all the ladies are at the airport, and Angela is meeting Phaedra for the first time.
I don't like what she said.
What Angela said or Phaedra?
What Phaedra said. She's the oldest looking young person.
That's what she said.
She's an asshole.
That's just Phaedra throwing her shade. I mean, she was throwing shade about Charles too.
Yeah.
That's what Phaedra does. Then we see they land in Grenada, and Shamia's bag did not make it. My gosh, I would have been so pissed.
She's like, I'm gonna dance on out of here, but not too much.
Because I don't got no panties.
I only got one pair of underwear. So funny.
So then we see.
Did you notice Drew was the last one to the airport? Drew was late to the airport.
I did not, but she's always late. She's always the last one there. She's on her own time.
She's definitely on her own time. I think everybody was appropriately dressed to fly. I think they were all in comfy clothes from what I remember.
Yes, I don't remember.
I always have to pay attention to that.
I don't remember anything out of
I don't understand those Beverly Hills girls. Half the time they're dressed like, they're going to a gala to go on a plane.
Yeah, no, that doesn't make any sense.
Mm-mm.
Then on the ride to hotel, Phaedra is in the car with Drew, Angela, and Cynthia, and she asks who's beefing. So she wants to know what's going on. Drew starts to talk about it, but she doesn't really get into it. And then in the other car, it's Kelli, Porsha, Britt, and Shamia. And they're not really getting into it yet either at this point. No. Then they get to the hotel, and that's when we find out that this whole trip is reset, renew, and rebirth. Mm-hmm. So what I'm thinking is that this episode is chapter 1, reset. The next episode will be chapter 2, renew. Mm-hmm. And then the third one of the trip will be chapter 3, rebirth.
Right. And we only have like 5 more episodes, and then there'll be 2 after that or something, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see them having the man on the stilts? They had him doing the Running Man.
Yes. They had a nice greeting at that hotel. I mean, geez,
really nice greeting.
Was like, it was like a 3-ring circus.
Exactly. It was like a festival.
Yes, there was a lot going on there.
Yeah. Nice.
And then they're going to play a game to find out. I thought they were finding out who's rooming with who, but they were finding out what room you were getting. They already predetermined who was rooming with who. So obviously Kelli and Shamia are rooming together because they're co-hosting this trip. And then they announce Britt and Phaedra are rooming together. Mm-hmm. Angela and Porsha are rooming together, and Cynthia and Drew. I actually thought the roommate situation were good pairs.
Me too, because I think Angela and Porsha, like, they're going to be fine, and I think putting Porsha with Drew would have been horrendous, obviously.
Right.
So, and putting Porsha with Phaedra would have been,
right.
They did it the right way.
I thought so too.
Yeah.
I thought so too. And then they're all doing shots, and their shots, I guess, had numbers on them to determine what room they were getting. So we find out that Britt and Phaedra are getting the scenic suite.
That was a nice room.
With a king and a queen.
They each have their own bathrooms, right?
No.
That's what I was wondering.
Not in that one. Angela and Porsha get the premium 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom suite. So they have 2 bathrooms.
Okay.
Then Cynthia and Drew get the premium with the king and 2 twin beds.
I can't believe Drew beat her in that arm wrestle.
Yeah.
I mean, Cynthia, strength training.
Yeah.
I thought she was on this journey. This fitness
Well,
journey.
I think she just started it. This was
All right. I
filmed
mean, not
last
that I
summer.
think I could beat anybody in an arm wrestle,
Yeah,
but
this was last summer. Like, give her a
yeah.
break.
Oh, that's true. That's true. It
And
was. It
Cynthia's
was.
older than Drew.
Yes, she is. Drew does have youth on her
And
side.
I will tell you this, the more I read about this, as you hit menopause, you lose muscle mass, and that does not happen to men, and that does not happen to younger women. So I'm
Right.
giving Cynthia some grace.
Yeah, let's give her some grace. I'm sorry. I
Okay.
apologize, Cynthia.
Okay.
I just felt bad. But thank God Drew gave up that king size bed, because Cynthia is a tall drink of water.
She is.
She would have been way too long for that. I mean, it's like Joe sleeping in his bed.
I thought that was so classy of Drew to do that. I
I
really
agree.
did. I
I
did.
agree.
They announced that they have 30 minutes to get ready, and that's not a lot of time for these ladies.
Not to eat and get ready. Did you see
Right.
Porsha when she grabbed the food from the chef and she's like,
Yep.
I'll do crazy things for some chicken wings.
Porsha always gets the food she wants. She
She
is
likes
all
her
about
food.
her food, right?
I wonder where she would fall with the ranking the sleep, sex, food. I think food would be first.
Probably. I think
Yeah.
you're probably right.
Yeah.
I think you're probably right. And Shami is talking to Kelli about the Instagram post that Drew tagged her in a post that said, "Be careful about people who create imaginary beef." I don't know why Drew would have done that. I really don't.
I don't either. I guess because of what Shamiya said on that radio station, but you're working with this woman. Like this, she's your coworker. Don't do that.
Yeah. And then Drew and Cynthia, they get to their room and she gives it up. Cynthia is talking to her about Amsterdam, her boyfriend. Then, Cynthia says, "Well, you're dating." And she's like, "No." Drew's making it very clear that she's not dating anybody. She's not involved with anybody. There's no benefits because it's not finalized, her divorce with Ralph. Then she tells Cynthia about what happened between her and Porsha, and that Ralph and Porsha did film together. And you could see Cynthia's like, "Oh boy." Then what happens? I guess all the ladies get ready and then they get in the cars to go to dinner. Phaedra on the way is talking about how well the funeral business is doing.
God, she did that.
I didn't forget she did that, but I really, since she hasn't been on for so long, because she's also an entertainment lawyer, so I really wasn't sure how involved in I know she owns the funeral home, but I still am not really sure how involved in it she is.
I mean, who knows? I mean, if she owns
Right.
it, she's reaping the benefits, but who knows if it's her day to day.
Right.
If she's practicing law more.
Is she still doing the entertainment law?
Who
I mean,
knows?
I don't know. I really don't know. This is what I want to know about Phaedra.
Yeah.
I want to know what's
Tell
going
us where
on.
you're at.
I want to know what's going on with Phaedra. I want to know what's going on with her two boys.
Yeah.
Prince and what were they? King?
Yeah, I think so.
Aiden and I don't remember their names. But anyway, I want to know what's going on with them. That's what I want to know. And I would like to know if she is dating anybody, who she's dating, because she's not married, so she can date whoever the heck she wants.
Right. Right. She's not going through a divorce.
Right. Let's know what's going on with them.
Yeah.
So they get at the restaurant, and that was a beautiful restaurant.
Sure was. And Shamiya did have a different outfit on. So she said she packed something in her carry-on. So at least she had that.
I was happy that she had that. I thought maybe she could have borrowed something too from Kelli because they're both tiny.
Yeah. I was thinking that too.
Angela announced when she gets there that it's her 8th wedding anniversary. Wait, why would you announce that?
Oh, I mean, I guess maybe just to make conversation, like,
Yeah.
Or to see what they had to say, if they were going to say anything shady about Charles.
Well, they did cheers to it. I mean, they did cheers to it. Britt announced about the guy that was across from them hanging out, I guess, naked, about her room and Phaedra's room.
Yeah, Phaedra wanted to see him.
Yeah, and that maybe he was a masseuse, and they were talking about maybe there's some happy endings involved. And then Kelli chimes in that she's had a happy ending.
She didn't admit to it. She insinuated. She asked, "Have you ever had a happy ending?" But she never admit to having one.
On the after show, she admits to it.
I have to watch the after show.
You have to watch the after show.
I mean, listen, Phaedra, with all due respect, she's like, that happened in some back alley corner. That's not giving 4 seasons. You don't know that.
You don't.
You don't know that.
she doesn't really give up the location, but she does give up a little more in the after show. So you're going to have to watch the after show.
Yeah. I mean, Denise Richards admitted to getting one. I'm sure she's not going in some back alley and getting it.
No,
I'm sure this is happening at some highfalutin places.
I'm sure it is too. But I can tell you, I mean, not that you're asking me, but I do get massages regularly.
Mm-hmm.
I've never had a happy ending.
No.
And I would not want a happy ending. Just saying that.
Not from
That
that
is not,
person.
no, that is not what I'm going there for.
Right. Good to know.
'Cause, listen, I am happily married. As Shamia pointed out, she's also happily married.
Right.
She's
So the
not going to be
happy
getting
endings happen at home.
exactly. That's where those happy endings happen. Kelli says that she wants to reset the energy at between Shamia and Drew. Drew says she wants to clear the air, and I guess it's Porsha that starts with called her a lapdog, and she's like, "Well, you brought back information that wasn't correct." And they bring up once again the PJ's college being paid for comment. How many times are we going to talk about this? This is another thing that we've discussed probably
Too much.
This is episode 13. We've probably discussed it 6 episodes. We've talked about this.
Like you did say it though, Drew. You did say it.
Right. So
And Shamia put a stop to it and was like, well, her college is already paid for. Like we got it. We get it.
Right. So, and then Drew's like, well, she said it, dog gonna holler.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually had to replay.
She called her a dog again.
Yes. And then that's when Porsha said, did you mean to call her a dog? And she said, well, she was barking at the table.
She was.
Porsha's like, Shamia, she's crazy. She was barking at the table. And then Shamia's said, but can you be honest about some stuff? It's called accountability. And Kelli said, you can't say nothing when that bitch bites you to Drew. So now she's also saying Shamia's a dog.
Right.
Right. So then Drew said, I was saying the music is a blessing. I can pray. It can pay for the college. I'm saying that the music's a blessing. It can pay for the college. Porsha said, yeah, but she wants you to apologize for calling her a lapdog. And then Angela jumps in and says, we do take offense. And she wasn't a part of this conversation. So I was like, all right, Angela,
yeah,
we do take offense when we have an intimate conversation that you run back to Porsha. And then all of a sudden, Phaedra jumps in, as she should have. Like when she jumped in right there, I was like, okay, lawyer Phaedra.
Yeah.
Phaedra said, let's be clear. Did you really think that you were going to say something like negative about her best friend and she wasn't going to tell her? And Porsha's like, yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at. Like, what was going on? And like, who's bringing out the problems in our friendship? That's what Porsha's saying. And then Angela says, Shamia brought up her grievances to us about you, to Porsha. And Kelli said, do you feel like you've been a good friend to Shamia? And Porsha's like, no, we've already squashed this. Yep. We had this conversation. We're not talking about this. And then Kelly's like, what you said, if we have a question to come to you. And Porsha's like, no, that was before we had our conversation. We had our conversation. We're done.
Right. So, and I'm so glad she did that because
I am too.
You can't say you want to reset and then go backwards. Like they're cool now.
Right.
So let it lie. Right.
Just let this go. Right. And Shamia says she's good. So they're like, okay, so if Shamia's good and Porsha's good, we're going to let that go.
Mm-hmm. I didn't understand why they were like, okay, so Drew, we're going to let this go. Like as if Drew was bringing up Porsha and Shamia, like not being good. Did you notice that?
I didn't know that they said to Drew, we're going to let this go. I just thought they said, we're going to let this go because they're good.
Address Drew about it though.
Well, no, because then Kelli said, okay, you're all good. We can be too. Kelli said, Drew, I feel like you have an issue with everyone at the table except Cynthia. So that's how Drew got brought back into it again.
It's not even true.
It's not true.
She doesn't have a problem with Britt. She doesn't have a problem with Phaedra. She doesn't have a problem with Angela.
No, it's not true.
That was not true.
No, that's
she
just
really
Kelli.
Doesn't have a problem with Kelli either.
Well, maybe she does because Kelly's the one, right? Because Kelly's the one who's bringing this up,
right?
And then Drew said, I don't have an issue with Porsha. She has an issue with me. And Porsha says, I don't have an issue with you. That takes energy. Which I thought again is shade. It's good. Porsha's good with that shade. She
Yeah, but
comes
she
out with it
does,
quick.
but it's not even true. She does
I
have a
know.
problem with her. So you know.
She does. She does. And then Porsha says, listen, I could have handled it better when it was brought up at Shemia's. I could have handled it better. I said some horrible things. And they flash back to what she said. She did say some horrible things. And Drew said, listen, I appreciate you saying that because you never said that before. I appreciate that. Thank you. And I love that that happened. And on the after show, like that was talked about too. And Portia's like, listen, I was giving too much energy to Drew. It was
and Dennis, quite honestly.
It was really Dennis, right? And she's like,
and the more
right. The more I thought about this, she said, I'm giving all this bad energy to Drew. And at this point, I'm just like, I'm done with this. I really need to fix this with Dennis because he's the one who's doing this.
And the more you're calling Drew out on it, the more you're bringing attention to it, something that you didn't want to happen. So stop bringing attention to it. He's the one that looks like a fucking loser.
Yes. Yes.
So let him.
Yes. Yes. And like I said, on the after show, she acknowledged that. She didn't exactly acknowledge it there.
Mm-hmm.
She once again says, she brings up that Drew was dating Black and that she should have just said that to shut it down. And Drew said, don't repeat what the streets are saying.
Right.
And then a producer asked Porsha, like, where did you hear this? She's like, oh, I didn't say it. It was Dennis.
Which, honestly, I'm starting to think that Portia's just lying or just.
No, I think it's Dennis that's lying.
Yeah.
And now, because even when Drew said, I should have called you and not sent you the text because Dennis said you were good with it. Porsha said, oh, he'd be lying. Right?
Yeah.
So she knows he's lying. She knows he's lying. Everyone knows that Dennis is the one that's lying. And these two women are fighting over it, which is ridiculous.
Right. It's like the summer house thing. Like,
yes. Yes.
Yeah. I don't know where Kelli got that crystal from she whipped out. I'm like, what is she holding? It looked like a piece of chalk.
I know. Her rose. Thank God she had the crystal because then we could control the conversation, right?
Right. Yeah.
She announces, unless you have the crystal, you cannot talk. So she hands the crystal to Drew. And, that's when Drew, says there was nothing inappropriate between her and Dennis. I could have handled it better. And Portia's like, okay, good. We're good.
Yeah.
Let's quash it.
Do you think they're going to be good?
They better freaking be good. If I hear about this one more time, I'm going to lose it. That and the damn lapdog. I'm over that and the lapdog. I'm done with it.
Oh, I know.
Enough.
Yeah, like the fights that are lingering in the Bravo verse right now. Not into
shit.
it.
It's just so stupid.
Yeah.
And then Britt asks for the crystal.
So stupid.
And she says to Phaedra that, at her event, she just wants to put everything out there. Apollo and his wife were there because they were invited, but she didn't invite them. And she just wants Phaedra to know. And Phaedra's like, yeah, it's not my problem. He's not my husband.
Yeah. Who gives a shit? And by the way, he wasn't even at a table where they were served food. So really, who cares?
Exactly.
He didn't have a chair or an appetizer.
No, and Phaedra wasn't there either. So
right. So what does she care? She wasn't even there.
I mean, we didn't even see him. Did we even see him?
Not even.
We didn't see him, right? We did not even see him.
We did not see him.
But Britt felt the need to tell us he was there.
Yeah, that was so stupid.
Yeah. So she, they all agree that they're leaving everything at the table. And that's my last note. And I really hope that is the case. Because if we hear about the lapdog or Dennis, enough.
How have Drew and Porsha not figured it out yet? You're giving him exactly what he wants. He's got two women basically fighting over him. I mean, come on, look at him.
Yep.
And you're talking about him constantly. His name is probably, if we were playing a drinking game to drink every time you hear the name Dennis, we'd be wasted by the end of the episode.
We would be.
They're giving him exactly what he wants. It's infuriating.
It really is. It really is.
Yeah.
So we'll have to wait and see what happens on chapter 2 of the Grenada trip and see if they really are able to, renew, because supposedly they reset. So next they're going to be renewing. We'll have to wait and see if that happens. Right?
Yeah. Real quick, are you gonna watch the new season of Below Deck? I think it's starting tonight.
I'm definitely going to watch it. Although I'll be honest with you, I didn't finish the last season. I still didn't watch it. I know that something big
Down
happens.
Under, right?
Yeah, I didn't finish it yet.
It was good. I mean, I love Captain Jason, so I'll watch that. I missed Aisha that season though, but I know she got married, so maybe she's just taking a break. But I liked all the people on it. I don't think I'm gonna watch this season of Below Deck. I haven't quite decided yet.
Is it Captain Carey?
Yes, I don't like him.
You don't, huh?
I don't like him at all, and they're trying to make him into like some James Bond. Like, stop it right now. And there was that guy, Ben Willoughby, on the last season, and I remember after the season ended, he came out and said, like, Captain Carey was like a dick. Like, they didn't get along, and it was like
Really?
yeah, like, he didn't have, like, this thing charged that Captain Carey liked to ride on, and yeah. I'm not a big fan of Carey. I don't think he was a good replacement for Captain Lee.
All right. I'll have to let you know. I don't dislike Captain Carey. I mean, he's not my favorite of the captains.
Right. I do love
Ben was
Frasier,
not.
though, and Frasier's on it.
I like Frasier.
I do too.
I don't think Ben was such a great guy, to be quite honest with you.
Well, he was a big giant player, but
Yeah, and I don't think he was a good. What decade was he? A deckhand or a bosun?
well, he became bosun at the end of the last season
Yeah.
because they got rid of that other guy.
Yeah, I don't listen. I don't take his words for what they are. I mean, your
miss
captain's your
Eddie.
captain.
Yeah,
You know,
I liked Eddie as bosun.
Eddie's got his own boat now. He's his captain of his own boat.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, we'll see. I'll
You
probably
know what?
wind up watching.
I did watch Jersey Shore Family Vacation. I agree about Angela 100%. I mean, she hasn't been with them yet. So
We don't need her.
No, we really don't.
I just feel like that show, I personally don't watch that show for drama. I legitimately watch that show to watch where they are and watch them with their families and watch them go on these funny vacations together. And watch Dina boss everybody around and make them wear these silly t-shirts.
Yes, I loved seeing Ronnie and his daughter.
Absolutely.
Love that. I love the fact that Dina is now a class mom and she joined the PTA.
This is what I need.
Right?
I need to see her living this out.
Exactly.
Like, I want to be an outsider looking in now because that's what we did.
Yeah. Well, no, that's what you did.
I did. I did.
And I'd say to you all the time, stop saying yes. Just say
know.
no. You can do it. You can say no.
I can't. I physically can't.
I know.
Unbelievable. Yeah, I'm so excited though. And Sammy, well, we don't know. She hasn't announced that she's pregnant. Well, she's not pregnant yet, right?
Not on the show, but we know that she is, and that's exciting. And we also get to see Snooki gets to find out who her birth mom is.
Yes.
And I'm excited for her for that. I am.
Yeah, me too. I'm into it. But listen, I've never been to the San Gennaro Festival.
We have to go this year.
That's what I told Tess. We have to go.
I have been, but I haven't been in a while. And every year I'm like, we're going to go again. It's so much fun. We have to go.
It looks so much fun. But how funny was that?
The problem is when it is. It's like the first week of school or like the second week of school. But we don't have that problem next year.
I know.
So we're definitely going. We are going.
Yeah,
we're going. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. And I thought that was so funny when they were doing the speed dating with Vinny. And then at the end, it's Paulie sitting there.
So funny. But like he said, like he liked like the quick questions. And listen, I think that might be a formula for him.
Yeah. You know what I was thinking?
What?
I wonder if he ever met Lexi Wood from Summer House. I feel like, although he does like the ethnic girls, Vinny.
Yeah, no, I don't think Lexi's the right fit for him. And because he's
cute.
A mama's boy. He's a mama's boy.
I mean, she gets along with her mom very well.
No.
Nope. I might have to root for this.
No,
I might have to slide into Vinny's DMs again.
She's too young. She's too young.
You think she is?
What is she, 26?
Yeah, but he likes him
It's
young,
like
doesn't he?
He's like, no.
He's definitely 40. He's damn near close. Paulie's 40, right?
No.
Wally D's 40.
Yes. No, I don't think she's a good fit because she's too close with her mother and her sister, and he is a mama's boy, and his mama. No, it's not going
He's
to work.
37. He's
He's only
only 11 years older than her. I'm rooting for this.
No, I'm rooting
I'm
for
gonna
the
inbox
girl.
him on Instagram again.
No,
I've
no.
inboxed Vinny a couple of
Okay,
times.
I'm rooting for the girl that does the marathons and is doing the New York Marathon.
None of those girls from that festival are going to be in there
Why not?
because he needs somebody. Well, I don't know. Maybe he'd wind up with somebody
I
not
think he
famous.
needs
Yeah,
an ordinary girl.
maybe.
I think he needs an ordinary girl. Someone who's going to take over the role of his mom when she's no longer there.
God forbid. Don't even say it.
I know, but like he needs someone who's going to be there.
Yeah.
I don't
Amazing
think
he never talks about his dad.
Yeah, it is amazing, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna have to do a little research on that.
I did it one time, but you know what? I don't freaking remember what I found out. I did look it up.
Vinny, could you write a book, please? Because I would read it. Did he write a book?
I don't know.
This conversation's really getting away from us. But the bottom line, people, is that we don't need Angelina on this show. I can't stand her.
Yeah, let's get back to
really
that.
can't stand her.
Okay.
It's just too much. She does too much.
I'll just say this. She doesn't bring a lot to the table. That's all I'll say. I don't like to say, like, I don't like people, but I don't really care for her. I don't think she brings much to the table for this television show.
Right.
I love seeing.
She should go on like House of Villains or something like that.
Yes, that would be good for her.
That would be good for her.
I did like seeing the kids go off to school, and I liked watching JWoww's daughter get ready, and I liked what was Vinny's mom doing for him. All the kids were going to school.
Oh, and she went and picked out his outfit for him to do his stand-up show. And she was like, but you want to make a good impression.
I know. I love his relationship with his mom. I love that. I do.
Amazing.
Like, I love that. He's got to find someone that's like on board with that.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, famous, not famous, ordinary, extraordinary, whoever it is has to be okay with his relationship with his mother. And who wouldn't, quite honestly, because it's adorable.
It really is.
And if you have a son, you strive for it.
Yes, absolutely. Especially if you're Italian.
Absolutely. I'll make chicken cutlets at 2 a.m. if you ask me to.
My son says to me all the time, why don't you make me chicken cutlets? I'm like,
because your father does. That's why.
Yeah, that's right. Because I don't cook.
Right.
Just remember that.
Hop on board, hop off. I don't care.
I do have to say this so William's working full time now that he's got like a full time internship like Monday through Friday. And he recently found out that Bill's mom used to make Bill lunch for work every day. So Bill makes William lunch every single day for work.
Don't let Tess hear that. She's going to be like,
every day. Bill makes William lunch. I was like, you make him lunch every day? And William's like, yeah. As soon as I heard Natty made him lunch, I was like, you're making me lunch. I was like, oh
my God, that's so funny.
Bill loves to feed people. Like, this is right up his alley.
Listen, Bill retired at the right time.
Just when the kids need
definitely
lunch.
Right up his alley. This is what he wants to do. He wouldn't do it if he didn't want to.
%. I mean, he'll say to me, do you want me to make you lunch? I'm like, no, I don't want you to make me lunch. I got my Uncrustable. I'm good.
That's right. I have my Uncrustable. I'm all set. That's
all
great.
Right. Until next time, thank you for watching and listening. Please subscribe and give us 5-star reviews. Bye.
Bye.